to this happy place. Welcome.
Welcome to the Magic on Main Street podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Tabitha.
Over the better part of a decade, our little family has lived the Disneyland lifestyle. As an ex-cast member and now longtime annual pass holders, we've been surrounding our lives with Disney. From Disney bounding to pin trading,
exclusive items and all the food.
We've fully immersed ourselves in the culture that Walt built. We've done it all and have made some great friends and memories over the years.
We'll be sitting down with friends and other Disney junkies to share our stories and advice.
We'll be your one-stop shop for Disneyland history and trivia and all the insider information you could ever ask for on merchandise, food, shows, attractions, and everything else you should know about the parks.
Our goal is to bring a little magic to your ears each week by sharing our Disneyland journey with you.
This is Magic on Main Street.
And here you may savor the challenge and promise of the future.
Okay, here we go. Are we ready?
Yeah.
It's episode number 12. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that we got that out of your system. We'll put a little blooper up on the Instagram to show the events that just unfolded in front of my eyes.
Little giggle out of that one.
Oh my goodness. Welcome everybody to episode 12.
12. Woo!
You sounded like a goat.
That's how excited I am. 12.
I'm Sean.
I'm Tabitha.
And this is the Magic on Main Street podcast. With us, as always, is the Señor de la Noche.
Man of the night.
It's the Colonel. It's Daniel Proc. Dino Proc 95 on Instagram. With us, also with us. What was that? The man of the night. Also with us is our child, the beautiful little Kenzie Lee, and our mascot, Scar the kitten.
Where'd Hims go?
I don't know.
He's probably in a blinky pile.
Rubbing himself on Daniel's belongings. Cat has an obsession. It's gross. We got a big show tonight. Mm-hmm. Really fun stuff we're talking about. Mm-hmm. We'll do our regular stuff, shout outs and this week in Disneyland history. In news, why are there so many hand sanitizers?
There's a lot of hand sanitizers.
And we had a fun little stay at the Marriott Convention Center Hotel this weekend.
Yeah.
That was fun. We'll talk about that a little bit. Magic Happens merch and also some more ink and paint. That's a lot.
So much in that collection.
We'll do Hidden Mickeys with the Kid. Talk about some food. Guava hand pies. That was a good tip that we got. We had a fun little adventure at Trader Sam's. Met somebody very interesting at the Food and Wine Festival by the name of Jamie. We're going to talk about her and some syrup. Mm-hmm. Weird. And tragedy at Tropical Hideaway.
Sean's not okay. Just so you guys know.
Warning. It's not good, guys. Let's talk about some events and our main topic tonight. It's new. It's fresh. It's the most amazing thing that you'll hear. It's fine. We'll get there. It's Magic Happens, the parade.
Yay.
We're going to talk about advice on how to enjoy it the best and also a breakdown of the event. It's going to be so much fun. We had a blast this weekend. What a good weekend.
It really was.
Yeah, all that and more coming up in just a moment. I want to give a big thank you to our friends over at Foolish Mortal Supply. They are just so great. They have so many great items. It's all around pop culture and our favorite attraction, one of them at least, the Haunted Mansion. Foolish Mortal Supply has a lot of really fun new items, so go check them out at foolishmortalsupply.com. And if you enter the code MAGICONMAIN, they're going to give you 15% off. foolishmortalsupply.com.
Welcome to the Haunted Mansion.
Hey, Kaylin, how about a song?
Magic on Main Street podcast, perfect for Disney fans. Magic on Main Street podcast, talking about Disneyland. Magic on Main Street podcast, for when you're making your Disney plans. Magic on Main Street podcast, Sean and Tabitha will be right back. They're back.
Got a couple shout outs today. Mm-hmm. The first one is going to go to, this is probably going to be a pretty standard thing, our lovely niece, Kaylin.
Aww.
Kaylin Rabbit Music on Instagram. She did our fun jingles for the show. People have been raving about these things. Somebody hummed it to me yesterday at the parks. It was really funny. But yeah, we want to give a shout out to Kaylin. We are just so happy and thankful that we have your songs. And if anybody loves good music, you love good music, don't you?
I love good music.
Yeah, head over to Kaylin Rabbit Music on Instagram. She does some originals. She does some really cute covers on piano and guitar. Beautiful voice.
She's so talented. We're going to get her a lute.
We are going to get her a lute.
Somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any hookups on lutes?
Yeah, lutes. Because she wants to be like
a bard.
Yeah. She'd be a great bard.
She would. She's so wonderful.
Yeah. All right. Up next in the shout out realm, we made a friend over the weekend through our street team, which I guess I can give them the shout out now. Karn and Patrick.
Our new executive producer.
Our executive producer, Patrick and Karn. We had a blast with them this weekend. They've been so supportive of the show. They're like handing out our cards and talking us up. And it's been really fun. So thank you guys. We love you. So they made friends with an artist at Disneyana. Her name is Jody Heron. And you can find her on Instagram at art.by.jody with an I. On Instagram. We're going to have a little bit more on her later, but she is an artist over at Disneyana. She was drawing the Little Man of Disneyland.
That's so great.
And we just had that on the show, and it was so cool. Such a cool little coincidence. So we figure we're going to put her into one of our giveaways. Not her. We can't give her away, but the drawing that they were doing over at Disneyana. So yeah, good little idea there. We're glad to know her, and we'll have more on that later. So, this week in Disneyland history, in 1972, the Country Bear Jamboree, which if you have not seen this or don't know what it is...
I'm so sorry for you.
I know, because I got to experience this for a lot of my life, and I'm really excited that I did. It was so cool. But it was a stage show with audio animatronic figures that were bears. It opened at Disneyland this week in 1972.
Wow.
Yeah. So this attraction is kind of cool. I didn't know everything about this attraction. So... this was originally intended to be placed at Disney's Mineral King Ski Resort in California. Walt wanted it to go there. He was trying to build that in the mid-1960s.
Okay.
But that didn't work out. He took it to Walt Disney World in October of 1971. So much good feedback came out of it. People were so stoked on it. And so Imagineers started planning a replica of the show to be placed in Disneyland's Critter Country.
And it's so great.
Yeah, so that opened in 1972, and that ran for 30 years almost, right before it closed in 2001. I know, really big bummer. But Easter egg, you can still find a piece of the Country Bear Jamboree show on the Winnie the Pooh attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, after you come out of the Heffalumps and Woozles portion of the ride, if you look up into the back,
turn
like right
around
over,
and look up.
Yeah, you'll see a fun little surprise there from Country Bear Jamboree. So, hot tip. In 2006, the Walt Disney Company held their first annual meeting of shareholders in Anaheim under their new leadership of, coincidentally, Bob Iger.
Oh, weird.
I know. So that was 2006, 14 years ago. And this week, celebrating the anniversary of his first shareholder meeting, he's out. So there has been some concern because now Bob Chapek, who was the president of Parks, is the CEO, took Bob Iger's spot. So there's been some a little bit of negativity about maybe him as a more public figure in Disney. And also that something's going to go wrong with the parks because they don't have their replacement yet. And it's just, I don't know.
Everything will be fine.
It's a lot to worry about. And I get it. Everybody loves the parks and everybody has concern. But I hope, more than anything, that somebody new comes in and really embraces the culture that Walt built and keeps it going. And we don't see any of the effect. So I understand everybody's concerned, but just trying to be positive. Maybe it won't be so bad. We'll see.
It'll be interesting to see what the future holds.
To be seen. Yeah. Back to our this week. In 2008, in a ceremony prior to the park's opening, they did a little thing for Disney legend Bob Gurr. He received his window on Disneyland's Main Street.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know who Bob Gurr is, he was a very influential Imagineer, and he designed Autopia, the monorail, Omnimovers, and the Main Street vehicles.
He's going to be on a episode of Pawn Stars soon, in case you were wondering.
That's right. You just told me that over the weekend.
Yeah.
All right. Also in 2008, they had soft openings for Pixar Play Parade, which kicked off at
about that.
At Disney's California Adventure. It debuted on March 14th, but they did a soft opening, and they had planned for that parade to run through the summer. That was in 2008. It ran through November 2018.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really? 2018?
Yeah.
I feel like it went away so much longer ago.
No, just recently. It's when they started doing all the renovations.
So weird. I could have swore it went away a long time ago.
Yeah. So it actually ended its run at Disneyland. So in California Adventure, it ran from March 2008 to January 2011. Then they came back in June of 2012 and ran through August of 2017. So that's when it was done at DCA. Mm-hmm. But then they brought it back to Disneyland on April 3rd. It replaced Soundsational from April 13th through November 4th of 2018, and that's where it was retired.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy. Long-running parade.
Yeah.
I did love that parade, but,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens next. We'll see. And finally, in 2009, Disney officially launches D23. It's their first official fan organization, which we're members. We have been for a long time. Mm-hmm. There's some cool little perks came with it. So this was launched with a premiere issue of Disney 23 magazine. And the whole D23 thing is paying respects to 1923, which is the year of the Walt Disney Company being founded. So it's a quarterly magazine, and they do photography, insider information, perspectives, and also some perks for their members. So we got in on the Disney Plus promotion they were doing as members. So we got, I think they did 3 years for some super cheap price. It came down to like under $4. So definitely some perks to that club. I like it. I mean, it was free when we got it, but there's a paid membership as well, but something to look into.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is this week in Disneyland history.
Yay. Next up, news.
This just in. Breaking news.
News.
Refurbishments. Disneyland, and we'll talk a little bit more about this one. Snow White Scary Adventures is down. Haunted Mansion, King Arthur Carousel. Sailing Ship Columbia, though, will be coming back up later this week. It's only down for a couple days. Mm-hmm. Over at DCA, we're going to talk about this one, too, because I think I might be right. Red Car Trolley is down still. Has been for ages.
Yeah.
Is there talks of them coming back up? We don't know. Maybe listen. We'll see what happens. And Jesse's Critter Carousel is opening back up this week. So that's all for closures. So many hand sanitizers.
They're everywhere. Use them.
Yes,
they're there
please.
for a reason. They're not just decoration. Use the dang hand sanitizers.
Yeah. So there's some weird stuff going on in the world.
Just a little bit.
A little weird virus going around. It's nothing to be taken lightly. So Disneyland has installed some hand sanitizers around the park to kind of combat some germies floating around.
They're in most areas where food is.
Yeah. So use them, please.
Yes. Happily. Please. Smile while you're rubbing your hands together.
Yes.
You can look like an evil genius. That's fine.
I'm sanitizing.
So, going back to kind of what we were hinting at moments ago in the refurbishments.
The bricks.
Yes. Gray bricks have replaced the old red brick path of the Red Car Trolley, which marks the entrance to Marvel Land. They did not, I repeat, did not remove the tracks. Was I right?
I mean, they were already in there laying down new flooring. If it wasn't coming back, they would have just removed the track, right?
I would think so. I don't know. I'd be excited if it stayed.
I don't know. But if you guys go to DCA and you go over to Guardians, you'll see the new flooring that we're talking about. It looks really cool.
Yeah,
and that's
it's pretty.
it. You can see the very clear line of this is Hollywood Land. This is Marvel Land. Like the line has been drawn.
Literally. Some scaffolding went up at Cozy Cones over the weekend, and as of this week, they were completely closed and being repainted. That shouldn't take long. It's just painting.
Yeah.
Have no fear.
They're trying to just make everything look pretty before summer gets here because there's going to be a lot of foot traffic through Cars Land.
A lot.
So don't be surprised if things close up and they start like just making minor improvements. because there's not going to be any room for them to be doing that as summer approaches, because that's going to be one of the major entryways into Avengers Campus.
Yes. And also, we hinted about this one just a minute ago. Snow White has been repainted.
It's so pretty.
What's it look like?
It's got iridescent golds and purples and blues, and it matches the castle, kind of.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
It looks a lot happier.
Yeah, so speaking of, since they're going with a more happily ever after theme on the outside, people are anticipating a name change.
Because the sign's gone.
Yeah, the Scary Adventures portion of the sign has been removed.
Yeah, so part of the coverings that they had around were pulled down. So we were actually able to see like the new painting on the outside. It just looks happy and friendly now. And they said like some of the more scary features are going to be replaced with a happy ending. So
good, because I don't know if "And They Lived Happily Ever After" describes the entire movie well enough.
That end scene in that ride was just you getting murdered by a boulder. Yeah,
it's weird. It's a weird ride.
Like, who lived happily ever after?
Yeah, there's no...
And why?
Yeah, it's a very strange ride. So I'm really... And, whatever. It's from forever ago. It needs an update. That's all.
Forever.
Now, they did do a really cool renovation on Alice in Wonderland.
I hope they Alice in Wonderland it.
I really do hope that's what they're doing. Yeah. They threw in some projections and it just looks so much cleaner. I hope that's what they're doing with Snow White. It would be great because I want to love that ride because it's so, it's the first movie that was released. Like, it's a pretty iconic movie.
Yeah.
I just want the ride to be iconic. So hopefully it'll be better. I know. So we had a great little stay at the Marriott Anaheim. It's over at the convention center over the weekend. So this is kind of a Magic on Main Street hot tip. So if you're coming down to Anaheim from out of town, or even if you live close to town, we're an hour away. We are a solid 1 hour and 30 minutes from our door to the front gates of Disneyland.
Yeah.
So it's not always fun driving back and forth in one day. No, so every once in a while, we'll shop around and see if we can find a good room. So this is kind of a tip. If you can wait until the last minute and you don't have to worry about,
If you can have poor planning skills.
No, yeah, really. But really, I mean, here's the thing. If you look for a hotel room in Anaheim, at really any given point in time, you'll find a room for $100. Mm-hmm. Like, pretty standard. It's pretty easy to find a room for $100.
Some of those $100 rooms are going to be gross.
It's not going to be the nicest room, but it's a bed and a shower.
It'll be nasty.
But how much room do you really need?
Yeah.
If you're just doing a one night, really quick trip, we've done this so many times.
Yeah.
You're almost always going to find a room for $100. Mm-hmm. So if you don't mind waiting up until close to the last minute. We got on hotels.com and we were looking for a room for Saturday. We knew we were going to be up in the area. So we're like, let's just stay. We found a room on Saturday afternoon, pretty early. Like
1:30.
Yeah. We found a room at the Marriott for $109, I think. $104. That's a steal.
Yeah.
Those rooms are usually like $400.
Yeah.
So if you're able to wait until, last minute ish, you're kind of gambling. It's a 50-50 shot. You're either going to get a really nice room for really cheap because they opened up, or you'll just get the standard crappy room that you would have gotten in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So if you're willing to spend $100 for a room, make it a little staycation. We did it and it's a blast. There's your little hot tip.
And they have a lot in that hotel. They have a full Starbucks.
Yeah, I mean, while we're talking about it, that was a nice hotel. I really liked it.
Yeah, all kinds of snacks in that Starbucks. And they had a build your own pizza place.
They did. It was called Slice.
Yeah, inside the hotel.
I was just really stoked to see that full service Starbucks.
Yeah, that was insane.
It was bigger than some of the Starbucks we go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really nice place. The room was really nice.
They had a cute little like a sunroom. So there's like a side of the Marriott that has like convention rooms, And then you can open a door and walk through, like, it's like a sunroom that leads into the Starbucks. And it's really cute in there, and it's super bright, and it just has a happy vibe.
It was gloomy that day, so there was no sun coming into the sunroom.
It was still bright and pretty in there.
Yeah, it was pretty. It's a nice place. But yeah, we had a good time. I liked the room. I liked the amenities.
The bed was the comfiest.
I kind of want to find out what that mattress was,
It
because
was
I would
squishy.
replace ours with it.
It's so great.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
So, beaming review of the Marriott Anaheim at the convention center. Really good stuff.
5 stars.
5 stars. And, hot tip for you, jump on hotels.com. If you have $100 to spend on a room, that was like 125 after all the taxes and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's our news for the week.
Yeah.
Up next, merch. On topic with today's hot topic, Magic Happens has some cool stuff.
They've got really cute pins.
Yeah. Let's see how fast they go.
Yeah, because they're limited edition.
Yeah, it was only the first weekend of the event. But yeah, they had a Purple Sorcerer Mickey, limited edition of 5,000. So it's a pretty big LE, but I don't know. You know how people are with merch at Disneyland.
Yeah.
They buy them up and sell them on the eBays. But there's also an AP exclusive pin, which is the pink and blue Aurora with the 3 fairies. And that one is limited edition of 4,000.
Yes.
Yeah, the regular one's $15.99. AP exclusive is $17.99.
They're really cute. I kind of want to double check this weekend to see if they have any left.
Worth it. Yeah. We saw some really cool Food and Wine Festival merch.
Really, 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 really cute ears. Oh my gosh. They're purple and pink. Well, not purple and pink. It's like a purplish pink and teal. And they've got a little chef's hat. And it's the cutest thing.
They're really cute. You tried them on. We'll put up a picture of those.
Yeah. We talked with one of our friends, Karin, on the street team. It sounds funny.
Street team. I love it.
The street team.
We have a street team.
Her and I were talking about somehow incorporating a little Remy onto the chef's hat.
Oh, that would be cute.
It would be so cute.
Do like a little silhouette.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't do that themselves, but we're going to get the ears and we're going to do it ourselves.
Yeah. That's cute.
Real, real cute.
Yeah. They also had a really cute apron. A set of, it was an oven mitt and a towel set. And then we saw a pepper grinder.
Yes, they were cute.
They were like, they're wooden and they're etched with the Food and Wine Festival info. It was so cool. I loved it.
Yeah.
Do we need a pepper grinder?
I think we do.
Let's get one.
Let's do it.
Sweet.
They also had regular salt and pepper shakers too that were little trash cans.
Yeah, they were. They were cute.
They're really cute.
And then
my favorite Spirit jersey of all time.
Yeah. I actually might get one too.
Yay.
I know.
They're cute.
Look at me. I'm Spirit jerseying.
Remember, guys, back in the old days of the first few episodes when Sean was like, I don't really know about Spirit jerseys. You actually just got called out on that the other day.
I did.
Jonathan called you out.
But I admit it.
I know.
It's not like I'm like defending my old stance.
I never said
Why I would never say that. No, I mean, I get it.
But I mean,
I didn't see anything that would look good on me, I thought. Then
they all look good.
A couple black
on
ones.
everyone.
No, that's not true. I tried on that gray Star Wars
like that one,
and it looked horrible on me. I looked like a tent.
Oh.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I was like, are they fumigating under there? It was not fun. I didn't like it.
Don't work.
Anyway, back on topic. They also have a hat. Okay. Disneyland never has any hats that I can wear.
No, Sean
never.
Hates them all.
I hate them all. Not the hats, just I hate the way they look on me. Yeah. I don't like them. But they have one now. It's a typical me. It's a trucker hat with a mesh back, snap back. But it says "Have a Grape Day" on it, and it's so
Pluto.
Cool. Yeah, so I might be picking that one up this weekend. We forgot to this past weekend.
I know.
We never went back to DCA.
I know.
Because we were going to get the Spirit jersey, the hat, the pepper shaker or pepper grinder,
and the ears.
And we'll talk about that in food, but there's a specialty item that's from a vendor.
Oh my goodness gracious, yes.
That we'll talk about in a minute. Syrup. Oh, it's so good. But then they also had some plates and stuff.
That They had like a dip bowl.
Yeah.
It was
In the
a
shape of a
Mickey.
Mickey head.
Yeah, so like you could put your chips in the big part and then some dips in the ears. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah.
It's cute.
So our friend Jocelyn gave us this really cool idea. She's marrying our friend Jonathan. They're having a wedding coming up this year. And so they're doing a lot of Disney stuff for their wedding. So it's really cool.
Because duh.
So yeah, it's fully Disney themed. She found a monorail Pez dispenser at Star Trader.
Yes.
And so it holds Pez dispensers. Not just Pez, it holds the dispensers. It holds 8 dispensers. So they're going to use it for a pen holder.
Yeah. It's going to be real cute.
I thought that was such a cool
She's
idea.
crafty.
Very crafty. They're doing buttons and now they have this and they've got all kinds of stuff. I'm stoked to see it all. So yeah, and it's only $15.
Yeah. Super cheap.
yeah.
And it's really, really cute.
It's
they have a
super cute.
red one and a blue one.
Yeah. It's about
Yay big. I know you can't see what I'm doing with my hands, but it's about yay big.
yeah, it's about yay big. Just look at something and go, about yay big.
Yeah.
It's about the size of a pop box, a Funko Pop box.
Like the long one.
Oh, you're right. I guess it is a little bit bigger, right?
Like the movie magic ones.
Yeah,
Or
it's
movie moments.
Yeah. So it's not small by any means.
No. The ABC Disney Letters collection added some new things. I had never seen the collection before, ever. But then I saw some pictures of these new trinket boxes that they put out. And so I started researching it, and it's really, really cute. So there's all kinds of different letters, and each letter either has to do with like a character or an attraction or stuff like that. I don't know. It's really cute. They've got mugs, they've got trinket boxes, they've got I think an apron, a throw blanket. They've got all kinds of stuff. But like C is for Sleeping Beauty's castle.
Okay.
M is for Matterhorn bobsleds.
Okay.
L is for Lightning McQueen.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's got all kinds of cute stuff.
What's K?
King Arthur's Carousel.
You are
G is
gurgly.
I know.
G is for gurgly.
G is for Grizzly River Run.
All right. For those of you that don't know, Tabitha has a little bit of a
Issue.
condition. So Tabitha is plagued with an underdeveloped esophagus.
Thanks.
She's got a small esophagus.
Thank you, I guess.
Esophageal problems.
Yeah.
She can't burp, is what it comes down to.
Yep.
So she makes funny gurgly noises. So if you ever listen really carefully, you'll hear that.
I hate
Good
my
times.
life.
It's good times. It's really painful though sometimes, so it really
it's real
stinks.
bad.
It's not fun.
If you ever hear me burp and I don't say excuse me, it's because I don't.
Because she's really excited.
I'm not excusing myself. I'm stoked on what just
Or
happened
shocked.
for me. Yeah, or I'm in too much shock to say excuse me.
Yeah, for real. There's a new set of
Mini ears
mini ears.
is a unicorn. Unicorn mini headband ears.
They're really cute.
They have color changing sequins. So when you do the little on the sequins, they change colors, and they've got it's like iridescent, like purpley colors and stuff all over. And they have a tulle veil on the back. It's very like reminiscent of, okay, little girls that were my age, we would get those really ugly crowns that were like bendable. And they would have like streamers off the back of them. They look like little halos on our heads. Okay, yeah. And they'd have either like streamers or tulle or something like that. That's what they remind me of.
Okay. Your horn can pierce the sky.
Stupid. But it's cute and I kind of want them.
That's fun. More ink and paint items have been added to the collection.
Yeah.
So they have a watercoloring book.
Yes.
But not like a cheap one.
No.
It's like a really good quality book.
Yeah, it's got textured paper.
Yeah.
So
it holds the color.
No color's going to bleed through.
That's
You're going to
crazy.
be perfectly fine.
Yeah, so good for them. Really fits the theme in a lot of ways. So good. Yeah, that's awesome. And then here's a fun word. They have a new seersucker striped plush collection.
They're cute.
So for those of you that don't know what seersucker is, it's like the railroad stripes.
Yeah. Railroad conductors.
Yeah, exactly. In different colors. But they've got Dumbo, Daisy, Donald, Mickey, and Minnie. And they're all $29.99. Super cute.
They've got a really like vintagey feel, and I think they're really cute.
Not like 80s vintagey, like
No,
like old timey,
like 50s vintagey.
old timey. Oh, you see, got some new seersuckers here. Get your seersuckers, hot salty seersuckers, please.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Oh, it's weird.
A little bit.
All right, that's all the merch we've got. Up next, Hidden Mickey with the Kid.
It's time for Hidden Mickey of the Week. Looking everywhere, Kenzie's here to share the Hidden Mickey of the Week. Hello!
It's this week's installment of Hidden Mickeys with the Kid.
Aw, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Welcome, Kenzie. Hello.
Hello.
How's your day?
Good. How's yours?
Good. Just, chilling, doing a podcast and stuff. What are you up to?
Nothing. Just talking about some Hidden Mickeys.
Nice. I dig it. So this week, where will we find your Hidden Mickey?
On Smuggler's Run.
All right. Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run over in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
So where at on the attraction? Is it on the attraction or like in the queue, or where's it at?
It's in the queue. So when you're right about to get in the cockpit, there is a screen.
Where Hondo gives you his message for your mission. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And on the side of the screen, there are 3 dials in the shape of a Hidden Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So for those that missed it, you go through all the entire queue of Smuggler's Run. You get all the way up to the end, right before you're about to go into the cockpit.
Yes.
And there's a screen on the wall, and that's where Hondo gives you his message. On the side of that screen,
Yes.
you're going to find a Hidden Mickey.
Yes.
But we should note, though, there are multiple hallways to get to the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. Some of the screens are on the right, some of the screens are on the left, and some of them don't have a Hidden Mickey. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking and you don't see one, you're not crazy. Just might not be there.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Kenzie.
You're welcome.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No.
Good times. That's this week's edition of Hidden Mickeys with the Kid. Thanks, Kenzie. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Like as soon as I'm done recording this.
Bye.
Go to bed.
Okay, bye.
Go to bed. Up next, So over the weekend, we arrived early at the theme park to Rise and Shine of the Resistance.
Ugh.
And
It's so hard.
it's so difficult. But this is the reason that we got a hotel room. We knew we wanted to do it. So we got a hotel.
Ooh, another little hot tip. We got late checkout with that hotel. We didn't have to check out till 1 p.m.
And
we got to take a nap.
sometimes niceness just goes a long way. I just asked politely, what time is checkout? Oh, 11? That's nice. Anything later than that?
Any chance?
Oh, you just make your voice go higher and it sounds really genuine. No, but I just asked what time it was. They said 11. I said, oh, any chance I can get you? And they said 1. I said, okay, I'll take it.
You should have been like, how about 2?
Yeah. Well, we're going. How about 4 o'clock? What do you got coming in? So yeah, it was nice because we actually came back after some festivities and napped for a couple hours.
Great.
Went back
Much
to the park.
needed.
But the point of this whole story, this segue, is we got up early. We went and stood on Main Street. We were going to do the whole boarding group thing. Mm-hmm. Ran into one of our favorite people.
Mamers.
Every favorite 2 people, Mamers and Kylie. And they've been very, very supportive of the show. Mamers is constantly sending me stuff that I love seeing. Mm-hmm. But she gave us a little snack tip.
Hand pies from Jolly Holiday.
From Jolly Holiday.
She loves them.
Yeah, these are the things. They look like Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, that's what she said. They're like Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, but better, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So she told us about this guava hand pie, and it's receiving rave reviews from her and other friends. It's cocoa themed, so it's got purple icing and orange chocolate shavings to look like the marigold petals from Coco. Mm-hmm. And it's got a Dia de los Muertos sugar skull. And those are only $5.49.
And they're decently sized.
They are decently sized. She said she picks up a few and she eats them throughout the week.
Yeah.
Is that what she said?
I don't know if she said she does or she's going to.
Maybe
she said she was going to buy 5.
She said she's getting 5. So it's a good idea. Grab a few. But yeah, those are a Jolly Holiday.
Speaking of our morning food.
Yes. Oh, we had breakfast that morning.
We did.
But not in the park. down at Downtown Disney.
Resort.
So
property.
on the resort. Yeah, we ate at Tortilla Joe's.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So I've always liked Tortilla Joe's. Never would imagine eating there at breakfast, though. And they had a really good deal.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, it was really good. So it was what, $17.99 a person?
17 even. I don't think it was 99. I think
Okay,
it was just
17 even. So $17 a person, and you get a fruit platter and
For the whole table.
For the whole table.
They
but
brought us
they'll
2
bring
plates.
a couple, yeah. And then you get your entree and then a dessert. And the dessert is apple cinnamon chimichangas.
There's some raisins in there too.
Yeah, which is fine. It didn't bother me, and I don't like raisins. And churros.
With some whipped cream.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with churros.
I had the chilaquiles,
And I had the breakfast burrito.
but I added chicken to my chilaquiles because they don't come with meat.
Right. And I
Regularly.
added beans to my burrito.
Bomb.
It was so good. I really
chilaquiles
enjoyed
were
it.
really good.
I've always had really good food from there, but yeah, it was a good breakfast and everything was on point and the service is always fantastic there. And yeah, I was really stoked. So, and you can also add on bottomless mimosas for an hour for $12. Yeah. So even if you do the mimosas, it's less than $30.
Yeah.
So pretty good deal.
Yes. And I would eat the chilaquiles again right now.
I'd eat the burrito again. I got the chorizo and it was amazing.
I got chilaquiles, verde salsa, and I added chicken.
Yeah. I apologize for our accents, everybody.
Fantastic.
We're trying our best.
How dare you?
I know. So there's lots of new treats for Magic Happens in addition to that hand pie.
So many treats. There is an island pork toasted sandwich at Jolly Holiday. A esquite hot dog at Refreshment Corner.
Yeah.
Coke Corner.
We still call it Coke Corner.
It's Coke Corner.
And what is that for those of you that don't know?
So, like elote,
Corn on
but
the
it's
cob.
like, when people say elote in a cup,
Yes.
that's actually esquites. So they just put that on top of the hot dog.
I know. Tell them.
I'm explaining that to them, but I'm looking you in the eye.
But if you don't look at them in the eye, how do they know you're not?
Is that how I do it?
Yes. What else?
A dulce de leche sundae at Gibson Girl. Make it pink, make it blue cupcake at Jolly Holiday.
Yeah.
And a Sorcerer Mickey layer cake at Plaza Inn.
Yeah. And if you haven't figured it out yet, these might be characters from the parade.
Maybe.
Speaking of the parade and food, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but if you're looking at the dining package for Magic Happens, which can be made 60 days in advance, don't get your heart set on getting anything on a Saturday or Sunday anytime soon. So find something that, in the near future that has your dates open. Now, if you're looking for something in particular, I will tell you this. We didn't have reservations because we weren't sure when we were going to go. So we didn't do reservations for the Magic Happens dining package at Plaza Inn. But, after we had kind of solidified some plans, we were able to get a dining package reservation that morning.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. Long story short, we had 4 people. We could only get reservations for 2. Couldn't get the 2 at the same time. So we abandoned ship on that plan. But you're going to find that not all is lost if it's not available when you try to book it in advance. If
some
you get
might
all the
become
way
available that morning.
Yeah. So just keep checking the app. The app is such a useful tool, everybody.
Also, keep in mind, if you do the dining package, your viewing is for the second parade, not
Only the
first.
second parade.
So even if you get like a 1:00 reservation for the dining package, you don't get viewing for the 3:30 parade. You get viewing for the 6:00 parade.
Correct. And they run that package from 12 till 3:30. So yeah, don't give up hope if you don't get in early. Just keep trying through the app. It's, again, you can book up to 60 days in advance, so you don't have to be there. Keep doing it up until you're going to be able to go, and just try your luck, see what happens. It's worth checking. Things open up all the time because you have to remember, people cancel. So don't lose hope, people.
There's been a loss in the food world for the McCready family.
Tragedy has struck Tropical Hideaway.
Sean is not okay.
I'm very upset. Disney, listen.
He's speaking very aggressively.
Listen. Look at me. Listen.
Look at me.
You've hurt my feelings, Disneyland.
You sounded like you were going to cry.
I have been promoting
You really have.
this magical treat since I started this show.
I'm so sorry.
I've done nothing but speak highly of this item, and you just took it away. Didn't even ask me.
I'm just so glad you got one this week.
I did get one. So, sad story. The beef bulgogi bao has perished.
It has been removed.
It's been removed from the menu.
The tropical hideaway menu.
The bow?
Okay,
Daniel
so
speaks.
No, the bow's gone.
It's gone.
they replaced it though.
Did you hear that, Disneyland? Daniel's sad. Did you see what you did? He spoke.
Each time we got there, that was the first thing. That was what we always got.
Yep. So, no more beef bao.
They replaced
it. Oh, whoop-de-doo. It's not the same.
Maybe
But we'll
you'll
see
love
what happens. We might love it. So they actually replaced it with the Loco Moco bao, which Loco Moco, if you don't know, is a traditional Hawaiian dish. And so this bao is going to feature ham, ground beef, egg, mushroom gravy.
The reviews that I read, because it came out March 2nd. Or March 1st, I'm sorry. The reviews that I read of people who have already tried it, they love it.
Look, you don't have to convince me.
I'm just a man. I'm sorry.
Who am I? You know?
So sorry.
I'm so bummed out.
I know you are.
But
there was something good
there
that
was something
added.
really good that was added. And
The
it was
sweet
so
lumpia.
good. So the sweet lumpia is supposed to be banana, jackfruit, and
A caramel drizzle.
It's really just a Bananas Foster lumpia.
Yeah.
You
can't taste the jackfruit.
So good. It's so good.
It
doesn't replace my beef
but it's my new
bao.
favorite dessert.
But it's good. Oh, it's good. You said that at that
good.
moment. First, you tried to take it away from me, so I couldn't have any. But then, yeah, she said that's her new favorite Disneyland dessert. So I hope they don't take it away from you like they've ripped my bao out of my cold hands.
Oh, we also tried the PB&J mochi.
Okay. Let's talk about that thing. I didn't like it at all.
The mochi was way too thick.
It was way too thick. I can't say I've ever had mochi.
I have, but I've had mochi ice cream balls where it's like a really thin layer of mochi around a ball of ice cream, which that's fine. This mochi was like half-inch thick. And
then they wrapped it around peanut butter or fake peanut butter, whatever the heck that was.
Gritty butter.
Gritty butter. So thick on thick. If you took too big of a bite, you choked. I had to fill my mouth with water to be able to swallow it because my mind immediately went, what is this texture? Get it out. It was like chewing on rubber.
Yeah.
It was like you were chewing with no end in sight.
I wasn't.
No light at the end of the tunnel. No. Yeah. It was scary. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it. I wanted to like it so bad.
You know what? The jelly on the outside though was really good.
Raspberry jelly.
Hey, I'm trying to have a bright side. I'm trying to keep this show positive.
Sure.
But yeah, not a huge fan of that. But they do have another sweet treat there for you.
Yes, a new Dole Whip float. There's a lemon raspberry Dole Whip float that has passion fruit, orange, and guava juice. And then there's some mango and strawberry pieces in syrup, a piece of candied kiwi, and like a coconut bit rim on the cup.
Oh.
It looks fantastic.
Not much of that sounds good to me, but you know me with my weird tropical thing. I'll still try it though.
Sean's not a big fan of tropical fruits.
Yeah, I know, but I keep finding things that I like lately.
Remember when you liked the mango mousse?
I loved the mango mousse.
I know.
Which is not me.
Sean doesn't like mango.
No.
So yeah, I'm excited to try that because it sounds like it's going to be fantastic.
Like I said, I'll still try it and we'll see what happens.
Everybody says that the lemon is very tart, but the raspberry helps kind of balance it out.
I do like raspberry and I do like strawberry. So maybe that'll be enough to make me like it.
We'll try one this weekend.
Yeah. Okay, so another fun thing that we did over the weekend is we stopped in Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar. and had a lot of fun.
Yes, we did.
Here's a little bit of advice to start this off. If you want to go to Trader Sam's, be prepared to wait.
Yes.
And be prepared
to duke it out.
Fight night.
Just kidding. You don't got to do that.
You don't have to fight. But there's a chance that you may get a couple harsh looks.
It may get a little awkward.
And scoffs at somebody who's waiting for a table.
Especially if you swoop it before them.
So at a certain point, they put a doorman out at the door. Doorman. You're just a doorman. They'll put a doorman out at the front, and they'll have a line. But there's this weird gray area where it's open and then almost time to have a doorman, and nobody really monitors the tables. So you're just kind of left to fend for yourself. Mm-hmm. So you have to stand behind people at the bar, which is really creepy sometimes. You have to hover over people's tables. I'm not a big fan of that. I get really socially awkward, and I feel like I shouldn't be there. So I'm glad that we were able to sit down in a timely manner because I was getting freaked out.
Yeah.
But that being said, once we had a table, we ordered some drinks, we ordered some food, we watched the entertainment, and it was a blast. Mm-hmm. It was a really good time. We went with Karin and Patrick, our executive producers. And we had quite a few well, this sounds terrible. Not really. There were 4 of us. We had 5 drinks. We had a few drinks. We had, what did you have?
I had the Piranha Pool.
What is that?
It's a blended beverage.
Okay.
With vodka and blue curacao and some juices. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a bartender.
How was it?
It was great.
Yeah?
It was so good. The only problem was that they give you a paper straw and it's a blended drink. So once that straw's toast, so is your drink. Hot tip, bring reusable straws.
Bring reusable straws. Don't bring handfuls of plastic straws. Don't do that. Bring reusable straws.
We have reusable straws that come in a little carrying case from Amazon.
Yeah, you can either get like one, like fun ones that fold up into a little case. You can get metal ones that you just stick in your purse. Just get reusable straws. Don't be a part of the problem. It's not that big of a deal. And you never without a straw. The paper straw's not a good thing with drinks. And I don't really drink much anymore, so I didn't really think about it until that happened, and I was like, oh no, I can't do that.
That's not fun
because they just disintegrate. But yeah, so she got what'd you say you got?
The Piranha Pool.
The Piranha Pool, right. Oh, this is a fun thing for the Piranha Pool. It comes with an option of a souvenir glass.
Yeah.
And?
It's a piranha.
Okay, but there was something special.
You can either get a gold or a green one.
No, the gold is a limited edition.
Yeah. You didn't let me finish. I was doing the whole explanation.
Okay.
There's gold and there's green. Gold is limited time only, and I got it.
Yeah, you did. And I got the shrunken zombie head, which, like I said, not a big drinker these days. So it was kind of like pure rubbing alcohol in my mouth.
It was strong.
Yeah, it was a couple different rums. It had 151 in it. That's why it was so burny. It has tropical juices. Cinnamon. This one also came in a custom mug. It was a shrunken head.
I liked it.
Yeah, really cool.
We brought them both home with us.
Which is a very cool thing that they do. So they'll serve the drink in the souvenir glass, but at the end of the night, they'll give you a fresh one. So you don't have to have sticky grossness with you. And they put it in a box.
Yeah.
So they travel easy. You can put them into a locker if you don't want to carry them around. Mm-hmm. Another specialty drink that we got as a table, we got the this is a drink that comes with a celebration, or not really a celebration. This is more of a show. Mm-hmm. Something about the Tiki Bar is their bartenders are very entertaining, and certain drinks have a little show to it. Mm-hmm. So Aoa is, we've angered the god Aoa, and you have to appease her by offering her cinnamon on the fire. So it's actually a fire drink, and when you throw cinnamon on a flame, it sparks, and it's really cool. So very cool show. There's lights effects and sound effects in the room, and just a blast. Bartender spray you down with a water bottle. It's really, really fun. But then on top of that, they also got the Pago Pago Punch, which was also a rum drink, and creme de coco and pineapple and lime. And the Tiki rum. A lot of rum that night. Mm-hmm. Goodness gracious. And that was rum, creme de coconut, and pineapple, orange juice, and cinnamon and nutmeg. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
What's in the Oa?
Too much.
Bacardi Superior Rum, Myers Original Dark Rum, juices of orange, passion fruit, guava, pineapple, and grapefruit, falernum, cinnamon, and fresh lime juice. And they recommend this for 2 or more guests because it's big and it comes with a souvenir bowl. Mm-hmm. We have one from years ago.
Yeah.
It's changed designs over the years, but yeah, it's still pretty cool stuff. But we also ate, and I was pretty stoked on their food.
It was okay.
You weren't a big fan.
No.
It's because you got the wrong meat.
Yeah, I got pork belly, and I don't really like pork belly, but she said it was good.
Yeah.
It was.
Sometimes you got to go against the grain, not go with what the server tells you.
Yeah, but the pork gyoza was good.
The pork gyoza was great.
We ordered 2, and she forgot about the second one. We wanted more.
We did, but she forgot.
It's okay.
It's fine.
I
still want it right now.
I know.
It's okay.
It's real bad. Karin got the tofu poke bowl, which she said was great.
Yeah.
She just got it without the fish eggs and without the crab because she doesn't do, well, she's allergic to shellfish.
Yes. How shellfish of her.
I know. And then Patrick got the Hawaiian cheeseburger.
And he said it was delicious.
I mean, so
did his actions. His actions said that too.
But yeah, overall, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it's a fun time. They have, like I said, they have a few different drinks that offer a fun little scene that you get to enjoy, and it makes the whole bar part of the show.
Yeah.
There's audio, there's visual, there's some fun little special effects. Like, it's a really fun time. I really enjoy it.
Me too.
Yeah, so we'll definitely be going back again. But last item on the food checklist, we met a very special young lady by the name of Jamie, and she works for a company called Burton Maplewood Farms. This guy, his name is Tim Burton.
No relation.
Coincidentally enough, it's pretty funny. He has a farm in
Medora, Indiana.
In Medora, Indiana. This town.
Population less than 700 people.
Less than 700 people. Like, this place is
3 square miles.
It's nuts how small of a town this place is.
She said they don't have a single stoplight, a yield light, nothing. They have stop signs.
Yeah, so check out our Instagram because we're going to put up a full video. She was so sweet. So we saw this stand out at the Food and Wine Festival at Disney California Adventure.
Right in front of the queue for The Little Mermaid.
Right. Right outside of that area. So they're giving out free samples, and we tried one. Somebody's just kind of standing out off to the side of the pathway with a tray of what looked to be whiskey, right?
Yeah, they're just very tiny little.
Yeah, very tiny tasters. Tasters of what looked like whiskey, but it turns out it was syrup, maple syrup. But they have, I think it was 4 or 5 specialty syrups.
All of their syrups are made in bourbon barrels.
Right. So when we tried the sample, we sampled the Kentucky bourbon, and it tasted literally like a better version of bourbon because it had the flavor of it, but it didn't burn.
Yeah, it was really good.
Great. And then what was the other one you tried?
The peach brandy.
Peach brandy. These things, these flavors are amazing. And she said you can put them in, adult beverages or on your breakfast.
She puts the peach brandy in her peach cobbler. Instead of sugar. So we were really lucky to happen upon her because when we went over to kind of get the spiel about what this stuff was, I had assumed these people were cast members. But they're not. They're vendors. So, they're able to get a spot as a vendor at the Food and Wine Festival. They get to showcase their what they call artisan craft syrups. But they're just so delicious. So we'll put up a video of Jamie. She can explain it much better than me.
She starts telling us the story, and I said to her, I was like, I can't imagine anybody else telling the story of this stuff, and thinking she was a cast member. And she started telling me this whole history about where they came from and where they live, and I was like, this is the best story. Please tell it to me. And she was willing to do a video. So we got it on video. It'll be on our Instagram. It'll be in IGTV because it's a little bit long. But she explains the entire story of Burton Maplewood Farms artisan syrup.
They're great.
Good stuff.
I can't wait to go buy some.
Yeah, check that out. And that does it for food for now. We got a lot coming up in the next couple of weeks, though.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. Not a lot going on in events, but Disney After Dark Pixar Night is coming up on March 5th. That's
Now.
If you haven't gotten your tickets, I think there's still some available. And then there's also an AP event, Experience Indiana Jones Adventure After Park Hours. That's going to be after the park closes. You can actually check in for this at Star Wars Launch Bay at 6:30 p.m. on March 4th and March 5th. And this is going to run until an hour after the park closes.
Park closes at 10 p.m. those nights, so you'll be in the park until 11.
Be prepared.
Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah, if you walk in,
it's happening.
Yeah, you're not even in to the resort yet. You're pulling in on the tram, and you can already smell all the great food that's
fantastic.
cooking. It smells amazing. Everything looks great. It's going on now through April 21st. We're going to do all of our reviews on the episode the week of.
It'll be episode 14.
Yeah, it'll be episode 14. That'll be the week of. That'll be
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that'll be the week of St. Patrick's Day. So the 18th is when we're planning to have that launch. We're going to do the Sip and Savor Pass. We're so excited. Lots to see, lots to do. Really excited about that. So, and we need to see what special classes we can get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun stuff. But that's it for news. Coming up shortly, we're going to be talking about the Magic Happens Parade. We're going to give you a little bit of parade advice, where to sit, what time, all that general info. And then we're going to do a full breakdown. So for those of you who don't want to hear about it, you can stop it at that point. But listen up now, because we're going to have some advice for you on where you should be sitting and how to enjoy it the best way. So when we come back, magic happens. I think now is a good time to talk about our sponsor one more time before we get to the main event. Foolish Mortal Supply has a bunch of great t-shirts and art, and it's all centered around pop culture and one of our favorite attractions,
the Haunted Mansion.
Visit foolishmortalsupply.com, or you can check out their Instagram at foolishmortalsupply. If you head over to their website and check out with the code MAGICONMAIN, they're going to give you 15% off. That's foolishmortalsupply.com. All right, and we're back with a new giveaway.
Yay!
Yeah. Hey, Kenzie's with us. Hey, Kenzie.
Hi.
So we're going to tell all the folks around the Magic on Main Street podcast water cooler what our new giveaway is. And just in time for St. Patrick's Day, if you remember just a few weeks ago, I did a reading of The Little Man of Disneyland Little Golden Book. And it was such a fun time, and people really enjoyed it. So I decided we were going to throw that in for a March giveaway. But also, we made friends with a Disneyland artist named Jody, and she was drawing The Little Man of Disneyland, Patrick Begora, at Disneyana. So what we decided to do is we're going to go pick up a custom park icon sketch of Patrick Begora in front of his little home tree in front of Indiana Jones. And we're going to give you The Little Man of Disneyland in a cute little St. Patrick's Day bundle.
Yay.
We'll also give you some stickers and some buttons because we have them and they're cool and they're fun. So this contest is really easy to enter. All you have to do, post an Instagram picture. This can be a picture of Disneyland, Disney California Adventure, a selfie of you at one of the parks, something Disney related, a screenshot of you listening to our podcast. That would be really cool. Anything really, make it Disneyland themed. That'd be pretty awesome. All you have to do is post that picture, tag us in it, Magic on Main Pod, and use the hashtag MomsPodGiveaway, MOMSPOD giveaway. It's that easy.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody go and enter now. You've got a week. We're going to be announcing next week.
One whole week. So make sure you enter. Really easy to do. And you're getting some really cool stuff. Again, Little Man of Disneyland, Little Golden Book. A park icon custom sketch from Disneyana of Patrick Begora. It's going to be fun. So good luck. So something happened.
Magic happened. It
was so amazing.
Magical.
So we had a chance to see Magic Happens at Disneyland over the weekend. And I have to just say, my favorite parade was, up until this weekend, Paint the Night. Nothing could top it because of the great choreography and all the opticals, great stuff. Magic Happens is so beautiful from all aspects that this is now my favorite parade. And it's a daytime parade, so you can see a couple versions of it every day. That's just so amazing. So we're going to talk a little bit about some tips on how to enjoy it the best. And then after that, we're going to talk about a full breakdown of the event. So much fun. So first, let's talk about location. Location is everything when it comes to Disneyland parades, because there's a lot of things to think about.
Yeah.
Viewpoints, sound, crowds, access points, blah, blah, blah. So here's some advice on how to get around the best when it comes to the new parade. When you're picking your location, you can eyeball it, see where there's a spot available, which is fine. There are some points around the park that are better viewing areas. One of those is close to Small World, just right outside their queue. There's a good area right there. On the side of Alice in Wonderland, kind of where the cast member sits at the front of the queue. There's a good spot there. Near the Disneyland hub, which is the circle area with the partner statue. If you're looking at the statue, to the right of that statue is going to be a really good spot to sit for the parade. Also, over near the Disneyland fire station, right in front, they rope off all of these areas so you can sit there. Really good vantage points. But one thing that they've done is they've added it to the app. So if you don't remember this, if you don't want to go back and listen to it again, that's fine. Just look on the Disneyland app, look up the parade, and then click the button that says View on Map. It's going to have all those cool areas that you should be sitting in. If you choose to sit somewhere else, we don't always sit in the most prime viewing areas when we go to parades. Because it doesn't mean it's the best spot to see it. It just means that's the place where you're going to get the best opportunity to sit. So it's just more sitting space. But something to keep in mind is speakers.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think about this. And I found this years ago when I was sitting right between two sets of speakers. To get the full-blown sound from what's coming and full-blown sound from what's leaving. And so sometimes there's a weird crossover and it doesn't sound right, or you miss part of the show. I hate it. It drives me nuts because I really want to enjoy it, with all of my, well, not all of my senses. I'm not going to lick a parade float, but
Ew.
You know what I mean? So when you're looking for a spot, if you see something that, this is the perfect spot, there's nobody here, I can sit my 5 family members down right here, look up. If you see speakers, you're in good shape. If you can't really see a speaker and you have to really look for it, you're in the middle of a dead zone. Yeah. So move. It's not going to be the worst experience ever. I mean, they do a really good job with their sound.
Yeah, they try to transition it evenly. Yeah,
it's just sometimes you're gonna either miss something or something will be given away because you've heard the music before it's happening. It's not optimal. But if you get to 10 minutes before the show and you see a spot on Main Street or somewhere where there's nobody sitting and you can fit your family there, go there. That's the best place you can be because you're not going to get anything better. But if you can take into account the sound, look up for a speaker. If you see one, you're in good shape. Another thing to keep in mind is when you can start picking your spot. So cast members and the Disneyland rules kind of say that 2 hours before the show is the earliest you can start lining up.
Yeah.
That's when you'll start seeing like blankets going down because people will start reserving their spots. So if you're very concerned about space, which I can tell you, we've never really ran into a problem and we don't plan for these very often. You can usually find a spot pretty last minute. But if it's something you're worried about, bring a blanket or buy one in one of the gift shops. They've got a lot of really cute ones. The only way that you're going to be able to ensure a spot on Main Street or around the park along the parade route is if you have something to mark your territory.
And stay with it because if it's left unattended, they will fold it up and move it.
Yes.
You don't just get to lay stuff out like it's the Rose Parade.
Right. So pick a designated spot sitter, a squatter, if you will. Have somebody stay behind, make sure that your stuff stays intact. And then you don't run the risk of having anything taken without your permission or anything like that. But you're really ensuring that you have that spot to view the parade. Have snacks or bring food or have somebody go bring you food because you're probably going to be there for a while if you're going to sit there that long.
Yeah.
If you're going to plan on putting out a blanket, you need to be there a couple hours in advance. Also, pay attention because cast members will always be available to answer your questions. If you think you're not supposed to sit somewhere, don't sit there. Just ask. And also keep in mind there are certain areas that are sitting only and there are certain areas that are standing only. So just when in doubt, listen to a cast member. They always know what they're doing. And speaking of etiquette when it comes to parades, please, for all of those around you, everybody paid as much money as you did. Don't put your kids on your shoulders. You can hold them during the parade, but if you do have them on your shoulders, make sure you're standing at the far back of your standing area, because it's very rude to have a big blockage in your way. Not everybody's 6 feet tall. So just be polite and be patient. Patience is key when it comes to parades, because you're going to be there for a long time. Chances are you're going to have somebody touching you, possibly touching your stuff. They're not doing it on purpose. Nobody's out to get you.
I made a friend.
Yeah, well, you made a very close friend.
My little friend.
Yeah, we had, there was a couple next to us, and they had 2 young children, two toddlers. And one of them.
She was basically sitting on my shoulder.
Yeah, I mean. Kids,
she was so cute.
Kids don't have space issues. They don't know what personal space is.
No.
They don't need to. Carefree and young. It's great.
She really wanted my pretzel, too.
Yeah, she was sitting on your back.
If it wasn't weird to be like, hey, strange child, I don't know, would you like a bite of my pretzel? I probably would have.
Yes.
But I'm also not going to offer a strange child my food.
But they were really nice people, and they understood that we were all there for the same reason. So we actually made a game plan.
Yeah.
I asked the guy, I said, hey, where are you going to be? And he told me, I'll be right there. I said, good, I'll be right there. So it was, there was no awkwardness when it came time for the parade.
Yeah.
I was, we were being respectful of each other's space when it came to like whose cameras were up, because I was trying to get some video, and, just be polite. Everybody's there for the same reason. Just be respectful and have a good time. You can have a good time and be polite at the same time.
Yeah.
Promise. Mm-hmm. One of the funniest quotes that ever came out of anybody's mouth happened that day. That the guy in the couple, he said the phrase, hot dog flavored bananas.
Ew.
Yeah. They had a Tupperware full of snacks for their kids, and it just happened to be those 2 things. Made me want to vomit, but
gross.
It was funny. But yeah, so follow those quick, easy tips for parades. Pick your location. Know your times 2 hours before each parade start. So that's going to be 1:30 p.m. for the early show that starts at 3:30, and 4 p.m. for the show that starts at 6 that evening. Mm-hmm. Also, make sure you have food. Bring a blanket if you're really concerned about space. Designate a stander, because somebody's going to have to stay there the whole time. And just practice some very simple etiquette. Keep your kids in your arms or on the ground. Don't stand in a sitting zone. Be polite and listen to the cast members. Easy stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, this is the point of no return. If you guys don't want to know about this parade, now's the time to skip forward to the end, because we're going to be giving away some spoilers here. Mm-hmm. We're trying to bring you news in a respectful way. We don't want to ruin anybody's day. So last chance, last call. Warning.
If you don't want to know about Magic Happens, turn us off.
Warning.
Skip ahead.
Warning.
Here we go.
This is the full breakdown of the new Magic Happens daytime parade at Disneyland. This parade is probably about, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
So it's not a very long parade.
No, it's short.
But the content is just stunning and stellar. This is the first daytime parade they've had in about a decade. So it's really exciting just to have one. Yeah. It's so fun to be able to experience something new at Disneyland. So we've had like Rise of the Resistance and Galaxy's Edge and stuff. But to be able to experience a brand new parade, I mean, this was one of the most emotional days I've had at Disneyland.
I cried through the entire parade.
Yeah, I thought I was emotional on Rise of the Resistance. No, this one got me. Like I was like on the verge of tears the entire show. So something that they did really well to begin with. So the whole concept behind this parade is they're celebrating the awe-inspiring moments of magic that are at the heart of all these Disney stories that they're telling. So Magic Happens has 9 newly designed floats, which highlight magic from classic Walt Disney Animation Studios. And these new floats were created as pieces of moving art, with their lines and aesthetic design working to tell a story along the parade route while also evoking a sense of magic. And that was their goal, and boy, did they hit it.
Yeah.
One cool thing that, Disney does really well at dance. I've always found that they've done a great job at having, good modern, dance of the times and really good dancers doing the dances for them in these parades. But they've never done such a good job of music.
Yeah.
Like the dancers were on point in this show, like 100%. There was one that blew my mind right from the get-go. But without the music and the soundtrack that they put together, this show wouldn't be what it is. So it puts a contemporary spin on classic Disney hits. And it features what they're calling an energetic musical score and new songs co-composed by singer-songwriter Todrick Hall.
He did so good.
He knocked this out of the
so
park.
Good.
Yeah, he did such an amazing job. It's funny because you'll hear like classic sounding songs where it's like the typical like Make-A-Wish kind of song that Disney does, while it has like a trap, hey,
Yeah.
like what is going on? So they did a really good job of like kind of fusing different styles of song together, while having these amazing dancers out there putting on a show. But another really cool thing about it is their wardrobe.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of performers within. They have 24 Disney and Pixar characters. But the costume design was drawing inspiration from modern runways, which you totally see that.
Yeah.
Like you look at this and you go Fashion Week.
Yeah.
You know
The
what I mean?
dancers at the very beginning of the parade. That's 100%.
Yeah. So it's like a mix between Fashion Week and Disney. I mean, that's really what these costumes say to me. Very uniquely Disney. So this is the meat of it. We'll do a walkthrough of this crazy cool parade. So the show starts off a little bit differently than any other show I've seen besides like Halloween. So as soon as the first act comes out in this parade, it's like they're putting on a mini show. Like if you didn't know there was a parade coming out of that gate, you would think this was a show they were putting on, like almost like a mini stage show. So these dancers come out. There's a really inspiring song coming on. And the choreography that's put to this music with when I first saw them, think of like, if you can get in your head, like Panem from Hunger Games.
Yeah.
It was costumes a lot like that. Very colorful and bright and funky.
Effie Trinket walking down.
Effie Trinket, exactly. But shortly after that, dance troupe comes out and does this amazing routine. Mickey Mouse comes out on a giant wizard's hat. So you see the classic Sorcerer Mickey doing a dance on this amazing, beautiful float.
And I love all of the iridescent colors.
Yeah,
like
iridescent.
On all of the costumes and the floats. Everything just looks so pretty.
Lots of pinks and teals, and purples. Really big fan of the color palette on this one. But immediately after that float, you see our classic friends. You've got the Fab Five in order, and then also Chip and Dale and Pluto. And they all have their own choreography and, their own unique takes on that. So Goofy's a little bit goofier while he's doing his dance, and Chip and Dale are having a blast in everybody's faces. And it's a really fun time. And, I always get a kick out of Donald. He's just this cocky little guy who struts around and looks cool.
Yeah.
But the float immediately after that, and most of these are led by a troupe of dancers,
they look like Tafiti.
Tafiti-esque. Yeah. They've got really beautiful green dresses on. They look very Tafiti-like, and they have, traditional Polynesian dances. As to be expected, the float following is Moana, and she's on a boat. And she has the sea behind her, and it's just so
and
gorgeous.
The dancers' headpieces have the heart of Tafiti.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So, very, very Moana. I think the coolest part of this whole float is, one, Moana looks beautiful, and I love seeing her, like her face.
Yeah.
She's just, they picked the perfect person to do this, and I can't wait to see the others that they use, because there's multiple.
Yeah.
But the boat's on a wave, and there's
screens.
There's screens that are showing the ocean, and oh man, it's beautiful. It's like a giant TV screen behind her showing the ocean. It's just so gorgeous. And then following that, I thought this was really neat. They've got Polynesian male dancers now, and they're dressed in kind of, grass skirts, and they're all carrying the little kakamora.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, they all have, the little kakamora coconut evil little guys in their hands as puppets, and they're shaking them in people's faces, and they have their own little dance, and there's one with like a bunch of them on a mobile, and
their dance is very like Haka-esque.
Very, yeah. So very Polynesian, very Asian Pacific Islander. There's a little float with Hey on it. He's
just in a little basket,
so random,
just going around.
So cute. And then they even have like a live drummer. If I had to nitpick something, I wish his drums were louder. Because you couldn't really hear him over the music.
Yeah.
I know that, and that's by design. It's just, it would be neat to have that be a part of the show. Kind of like Mickey when he was literally drumming during Sensational.
Yeah.
But after that drummer, this is like I love the Moana float. Differently, I like this next one. It's actually Maui. And they've got a humongous Maui character.
He's just getting down.
On top of a rock with Pua. And it's just a beautiful island
and then he's got his hook behind him.
He's got his hook behind him. It's just such a beautiful float. And the costume they have for Maui is on point.
It's just a big guy.
It reminds me kind of Baymax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of that, big
or the
air suit.
Because of the way his arms are, the way they have the Sully ones.
The Sully one, yeah.
He kind of looks like Frankenstein.
Yeah. But really cool float, really cool character. So I'm so glad to see Moana make a big presence in this parade because it's such a fantastic story. But gosh,
it's so underrated.
It is underrated, and it's a great story.
She's not in enough, and I love her so much.
Well, she is now.
Yes.
I mean, seeing her as a face character in Disneyland was really, it was a happy thing.
And then they have like a small break between.
Yeah, so you can tell where the pedestrian breaks are.
Yeah.
Because they've got to stop the show for people crossing. So you definitely see it in this one. And they're a little bit longer than in some sections than others. But it's not, it's a parade. You expect it. But after the break, you'll have some female Latin dancers kind of in a, what is that costume?
So at first there's like a skirt on, but then the skirt comes off and the way they're holding it almost looks like a bullfighter.
Like a matador.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got these capes now. So their skirts turn into a cape and they've got the very bright festive colors, lots of oranges and blues.
And then the marigold headpiece.
Yeah. And the marigold headpiece. And the marigolds are what they use to welcome the dead to the world of the living.
And then the float.
And then comes Miguel.
And
Miguelito.
He's in his Ernesto de la Cruz outfit.
Yes. And let me just say, I'm so proud of Disney because they've had some really big misses lately on character costumes.
Yeah.
When it comes to the big heads. One in particular is Bo Peep.
Yeah.
Very creepy because it has, like a normal body with just like a plastic head.
Yeah.
Well, they did this with Miguel, but they nailed it.
Yeah. It looks so great.
It's so good. So it's it's just a guy in a suit basically with a big Miguel head, but it was so good. The guitar's a little bit oversized, so it makes it look more cartoonish. So it really plays well. It reads well to the human eye, unlike some have in the recent past. One also that comes to mind is, remember when they did Jessica Rabbit?
Oh yeah, I didn't like that.
Cringeworthy. But behind Miguel is a huge, beautiful bridge of marigolds. Atop the bridge is Mama Coco's mother and father, Imelda and Hector. And they're singing along with Miguel. It's so cute. They're on a stage that has a sugar skull above them. It's super cute. They've got the curtains in the background. It's really cute.
And they've got Dante frolicking up the path of marigolds.
Yes.
And he goes from Dante to his Alebrije version. With his little wings.
Yeah, they're just jumping up the bridge. So it's cool to see that transformation. Really neat, really cute. And then if you pay attention, focus on the back of that float. It's actually it's
the little town. It's like it kind of looks like the Santa Cecilia town, but like with like the bright colors that they have,
very bright
that they
colors.
show in like Land of the Dead, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And then that kind of transitions into, so this is, it's really telling a story. So it goes from the world of the living across the bridge into the world of the dead. And there's the Alebrije, and all of the dancers are actually Alebrije, which are, spirit animals. And then the big main feature of that is
big, huge puppet.
Yeah.
It's enormous.
It's humongous.
It's the Pepite Alebrije.
Yeah, the little cat.
When it's an Alebrije.
It's huge.
It's the tiger, eagle, horned kitty cat.
Yeah, and it's got huge wings, which
and it growls.
Which they, it's dancers kind of like a dragon dance group where, different people function different pieces of the body. And there's guys that, function the wings, and he does this big flourish and a growl. So keep your eye on him because
It's really cool.
He's very interesting in this show. But I love the way they tell the story. It goes from Miguel singing all the way across the bridge into the land of the dead, and so crazy. What a great little story. Little mini stories.
And then shortly after they pass, there's gale dancers.
Gale dancers. It's
Which
leaves and wind. I didn't catch
notice.
it. I didn't until I saw it when we watched it. Well, we didn't watch it the second time, but
When we were passing,
you told me that. I'm like, wait a minute, they are.
It's Gale.
Yeah, so it's gale.
I mean, Gale is the
blowing in the wind. Is the wind. Gale is the wind. So you'll see these costumes. It's the wind and
the leaves, the red leaves.
Yeah, very cool. So obviously Gale introduces Anna and Elsa and Olaf.
And the huge, enormous water knock.
That thing is gigantic.
It's insane how big
this thing's like a story tall, and it's pure ice. Beautiful, beautiful art. Yeah, that water knock is gorgeous, and it's got kind of a fall scene, so like the forest, and then it goes to kind of an ice castle with Elsa on top, Anna's down below dancing, and they're just so beautiful. The costumes are great.
And there's snow flying.
There's snow flying everywhere. And when you think you've seen enough, the back of the float has Sven on it. And he is so dopey looking and so cute.
He's so happy.
And then it's so cool. This was something that you pointed out to me. So Kristoff is following behind with a wagon. He's pulling a wagon behind him, and he interacts with the crowd because he's on foot. And he actually will stop and secretly show people in the audience that he's got a special treat for Anna.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it's so cute. So I was really glad that I got to see that little treat, because I'm sure he doesn't do it every 5 steps. So, it's going to take, not everybody's going to see that little special exchange. So I'm glad that we got to experience that.
Me too.
And for those of you that are wondering, yes, we do have a video, and yes, we will be putting this up. We're going to throw this on our YouTube this week. So please go watch it. If you're up for the spoilers, if you don't need to see it in person the first time, please go watch it. Really fun time. And even if you're listening to this and you're feeling like, oh, I haven't seen it yet, and this might be ruined. Words cannot describe exactly what you're going to see and feel in this parade. So don't worry. Plenty of feels to be had.
After Kristoff makes his exit is when we see a bunch of classic Disney characters.
Yeah, that was fun. So there's Genie,
the Blue Fairy,
Tinkerbell,
Pinocchio, Fairy Godmother.
The Fairy Godmother's there, and she's so pretty. And you said the Blue Fairy.
Yeah, you never see the Blue Fairy.
No, you never see her, and her costume is so beautiful.
It's really, really pretty.
She was a very beautiful girl. Aladdin's there, Peter Pan is there, and they've got a cute little choreographed dance.
And then Fairy Godmother turns around and does some magic for Cinderella, who's on the float behind them.
Yes, she does. And it's so cool because she kind of introduces this beautiful float of a giant pumpkin, very artsy pumpkin, and so beautiful. Kind of like an ironwork, I guess. She's so beautiful and so just majestic. It's a very small float, but very impactful in what you see.
The design is gorgeous.
It's beautiful. I mean, you're really watching art drive by when you see these floats.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. And the next part is actually my favorite part of the show.
Favoriteest part.
Because you never see these characters. Disney doesn't really bring these guys out very often. And I'm so glad we got to see this because it is in a great platform. So magic happens. They're, talking about magical moments in these Disney movies. So the next float is actually Sword in the Stone. And you've got a very erratic Merlin on the front of the float, waving his wand and dancing around and acting like a crazy person because he is one. And then in the back, on top of a pedestal, right in front of the anvil, Wart, or Arthur, pulls the sword from the stone right there in front of you. And he's so happy and so proud, and it's so cool. And it's kind of like in the movie where he's like, I don't know if I should have this in my hand. So he actually puts the sword back in the stone and, rediscovers it a little bit later in the show. But it's so neat. And I was so excited because again, you just don't see those characters out anymore, you know, and it's so refreshing to see some of the classics, especially when it's one of your favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, definitely.
So really fun, magical moment. And I was so excited we got to see that.
And then there's some two guys doing some little dancey dances with
they
flags.
break up the
each little
the
section
floats with little flag bearers.
Yeah,
pretty cool. And they dance as well.
And then the next one, Kenzie kept, look.
Yeah, she was really excited. She's been on a Tiana kick lately, and I'm so stoked for her because she got to see one of her favorite movies in a float, and that's Tiana and Naveen, and they're kind of on a bayou scene, and there's it's very reminiscent of like the Rose Parade, where it looks like flowers are decorating everything, and so there's like a swirl of flowers around them.
Yeah, it's like the magic that's turning them human again.
It was so cool the way they put that together, and you know they're dancing to the great music that's going on, and you know there's just all smiles and so happy, and they picked just the perfect people for these roles. I'm so excited.
So as soon as that float passes, you've got I love the dancers' outfits for these. So they've got like the prince sort of outfit on.
It looks like it would be like the Prince's Guard.
Yeah.
Because they're like military uniforms.
Yeah. But then they've got like
females.
a little cape that they're holding.
Yeah.
That's the pink and blue because Aurora's coming.
Yeah. It's an all-female dance troupe, and they have, again, just amazing choreography. And you know what's really cool? You know, sometimes even if the parade's really good, when there's a show that runs a long time at Disneyland, sometimes it looks like they're going through the motions.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often, but sometimes you get that spot. These cast members, these dancers, these performers look like they're having the time of their life.
Yeah, they're just all like, woo!
They're so excited to be doing something new and fresh, and the choreography is so hip and new. You know, like it's a very fresh choreography.
Yeah.
You know, I've danced, and so, you know, seeing them bring in some really cool hip hop and modern dance, and, you know, something that's a little bit more, you know, our generation and not so old. It's very cool to see, even when they put them with the classic Disney characters like Sleeping Beauty, Aurora. You know, these cool dancers introduce this really cool float where the three fairies are spinning on these pedestals and casting spells. And
I don't know how they don't get dizzy.
You know, one thing that I noticed about this float in particular, and I noticed it a little bit before when I saw like the fairy godmother. You know, they cast an older person in that role, which was awesome because it's, you know, should be. I was very proud of the casting that they did for this float because you see, you know, a couple older ladies, one person who isn't, you know, a twig. You know, she's a full-figured girl, and she looks so good in that role because that's what that role is. And I was so very proud of Disney, especially on this float, because they chose people to play the roles of the three fairies that fit that either age type or body type.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bunch of, you know, very
tiny
thin
little dancers,
young people playing a role of, you know, somebody that's not that. So I was very proud of the casting on that one because it was so neat to see like these characters look real. And when you look immediately following, you've got Aurora and Prince Philip, and Aurora is so beautiful, and she's standing there in this pink and blue dress. The way they made this dress is so
it looks
smart.
like it's transitioning back and forth.
Yes, it's pink and blue. So kind of iridescent. I don't know what kind of fabric they use, but it's amazing. It looks like you're watching magic happen right in front of your eyes. But also, again, with the casting, the Prince Philip character on here, not like the typical like stud. You know what I mean? He's not unattractive by any means, but not like your typical, you know, strong jawline prince. Like he was very real looking, which I was so excited to see that because he's, you know, just it looks like they're breaking free from a lot of molds and stereotypes. You know what I mean? With these face characters, because, you know, there might be a mold, but they weren't really filling the right one all the time. So it was neat to see the way they cast it. But going back to her dress, I can't get over that dress.
Yeah, the dress is my favorite part of that float. Yeah,
it's one of my favorite parts of the entire show. I mean, it was so smart the way they made that dress. But yeah, this is the last float in the parade, and it's followed by your typical banner carriers at the end of the parade, who are also having just a fun time with their choreography, and it's over too soon.
Yeah, I wish it was longer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to complain. I definitely got my money's worth on this show.
Yeah.
They knocked it out of the park. Everything about it was fantastic. There was really not a lot of room for judgment or hate. Mm-hmm. I really just enjoyed every bit of it.
I did too. Moana was my favorite part.
My favorite was obviously the Sword in the Stone piece, but man, that dress on Aurora, I can't wait if you haven't seen it yet, I can't wait for you to see it.
I know.
It's
I'm so
beautiful.
excited. I can't wait to see it again this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to just make it a part of our Disney days now. Mm-hmm. You know, we stopped planning around parades and fireworks a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And I'm really glad to get it back into our rotation because this is a parade that I could watch over and over and over.
It's so good.
And the song is so catchy. So for those of you that want to see it, if this wasn't enough of a description for you, or if you just want to watch it all over again, please head over to our YouTube. We'll put in a link so you can get that in our show notes, and we'll also throw it up on IGTV so you can watch it on Instagram. Yeah, I can't say enough about the show. It's amazing and it's so magical, and the title really captured it. Magic happens.
It was great.
You're watching magic happen.
I loved it.
Yeah. Big fan. Mm-hmm. So enjoy Magic Happens. That brings us to the quote of the week.
It's time for a quote of the week. Putting words together that last forever. It's quote of the week.
Okay, so this is not going to be a soapbox. However, I will say that this came to mind recently. We were talking about work, as we do, because we're adults. And sometimes people get the wrong impression of how you should grow in your life and in your career. You know, there's a lot of right now in this generation. I'm not saying of people, I'm just saying this generation. This is old people, young people, everybody in between. There is a little bit of an entitlement sometimes, which, doesn't necessarily need to happen. I thought this was a really good one because it came up recently and I thought this is a good one to fill this week. So Walt said, "People often ask me if I know the secret of success and if I could tell others how to make their dreams come true. My answer is, you do it by working." I love that because everything I've done in my life, I've worked really hard for.
Yeah.
And you too. So I feel like we need to go back and everybody just needs to realize hard work pays off.
Mm-hmm.
So stepping off of my soapbox now. Okay, everybody. That brings us to something we call the outro.
Peace out.
The peace out, homies. But seriously, we do want to thank you. As always, we're so appreciative that you're here. We're so appreciative that you've listened all the way through to this part of the show. That means you really like us and we like you too. But we would not be here if it wasn't for you. And we are just so inspired by the feedback that we're getting. And we're so excited that we can do this every week. It's a fun little bonding experience for us in this room. And it's fun to share it with our friends. And, some of them have become very big spokespeople for the show amongst their friends. Some of them have become executive producers, I guess. Executive producer, Patrick. But yeah, we're very thankful for you. So thank you so much for coming along on this adventure with us. If you do have any comments or questions or any stories that you want to share with our audience, we have a new email address. Just email us at friends@magiconmainstreetpodcast.com. That's friends@magiconmainstreetpodcast.com. Also, follow us on our Instagram. You can find us at Magic on Main Pod. We're always sharing out what we talk about on the show and also just some fun stuff of what we're experiencing while we're in the park. So yeah, follow us over there at Magic on Main Pod. And also, we got a new subscriber today. So excited. Welcome to the family. But if you haven't already, become a Patreon subscriber. The tiers start at $2. You're never going to have to listen to an ad, and you get early access to the show, but you also get entered into drawings, and you're really going to help us to support ourselves while we do this show for you. So yeah, check us out at patreon.com/magiconmainstreet. And also make sure you subscribe, leave a review, and help us spread some magic by sharing our little podcast with the Disney lovers in your lives. Lastly, subscribe to our calendar. It's free, and it tells you everything you need to know about what's going on in the parks. That being said, on behalf of Tabitha, Daniel, Scar, Kenzie, and myself, thank you so much for listening to the Magic on Main Street podcast, and we'll see you real soon.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Magic magic on Main Street. Just like a churro, you're so sweet. Our time with you is such a treat. Spread the Disney love. Thanks for hanging out with us.